Get ready for it, Hawaii. Here we go. Carissa Moore, the three-time world champ, going up against our former Rookie of the Year in Tatiana Weston-Webb. A few head-to-head heats between these two shared in the past.
It does seem like a strategic move for Tati to stay a little bit further inside of Carissa.
Carissa's going to get the first ride, though. Generating plenty of speed for this first section. Just placing her board before really digging in on that second move. Flowing down the line, looking for more. Wow, pushes the board beyond vertical, but can't ride out of that move.
That would have made a beautiful photo, that maneuver, but had she ridden out of it, that's the only time that the judges really deem it made.
She'll still log something because the second turn was pretty decent when we look back on the replay now.
Yeah, we see her just starting to gather that speed. I love the way she controls her momentum and her torque with her back foot. She keeps that front foot steady on her surfboard and just, unfortunately, just lets it go a little bit too long. That drift was out of control. She could have brought it around and made that maneuver. Would have been a tidy little score for Carissa. She would have squeezed out a few more points. I think it's still going to be a pretty good ride for her and a great start. Get that water angle. Kind of overpowered that last move, but it looked so great and slicey on the rail.
In those first three events, remarkable that you would consider that a disastrous start for someone, but you need semis or better to be in title contention. As we see Tatiana up once again, a big frontside float, and this wave providing a lot of scoring opportunity and a steep wall for big critical turns.
That wave was a gift. Honestly, I mean, just the potential that it had on it, and Tati didn't miss a beat.
Held her nerve well. She's going to be well rewarded. It'll be fun to break this one down. It just seemed like every time she got to the top of the wave, the wall was just standing up perfectly for her.
Yeah, that little bit of crumble, that texture on the face is just leaning it towards the variety that Tati's showing us right now. That float is just a gateway to get her more open face. I like the way that she's stuck with that power section. It just releases those fins in the carving move. Let's just get this water angle. This is just so important to see the intricacies of the surfing that she's doing. Just tags every section that's given to her. And a different bit of flair on every maneuver. I think the judges are going to lap that up.
It'll be very surprising if this doesn't go into the excellent range to a competitive season. We're going to have another look at this excellent score, and she just really flares to all areas of the criteria on this one.
Yeah, I love the fact that she just kept that speed. Every move that she did, it was a point of difference. She did something dynamic, and you know, the innovation really came in the fact that she was able to just throw the fins around, tail slides. Wasn't any aerial maneuvers, but it was just a neat little package of surfing.
I'm sweet.
And I suppose, you know, a 6.5 and a 6 is a pretty good example of just applying yourself to that moment. You obviously go out there wanting to drop 8s, but in a heat like that, 6s are enough.
Yeah, well, I haven't really gotten into the 8s too much, so 6s are enough if I can get 6s. Well, in that heat especially, Sage needed a 7 with 5 minutes to go. And
during the interview, we had this ride for Carissa Moore.
Yep, Carissa just trying to replicate that 8.5 that Tatiana has, and just another fall on the inside maneuver. Those seem to be detrimental for the scoreline. Started off with that strong turn, caught a bit of rail on the come down. That's third turn there, looking smart, but she'd want to just keep that all together and just deliver.
We'll see her there, and she's got priority at the moment. A bit going on at the top of the reef here. Carissa has a look at it. Tatiana's going to utilise her priority down the line. Little floating re-entry to get started. Caught behind for a moment here, gets tripped up by that white water, and she'll go down. So a lost opportunity there. It hasn't been an event that's been completely dominated by any one individual either. Yeah. There's been some, I guess, some tricky heats for people. Probably the conditions have a little bit to do with that. as we see Tatiana still seeking that 4.33 or better to take the lead. She might have done it there.
Yeah, that was interesting. You see Carissa Moore keeping an eye on her out the back, watching her progress on that wave. But it is like that when you watch your competitor get a wave. It is almost horrific for yourself, just because you know that they're capable of snatching the lead away from you. And Tati, on that smaller wave, it still gave her the wall to work with. 4.33 needed. You see Carissa, that's what we're talking about, watching the wave. Sometimes you'll see the competitor and not even pay it any attention. But Carissa saw the fans of spray.
That's not going to be the case. The hooter has sounded with Tatiana Weston-Webb out in front. She just squeaked past Carissa with a 4.9, but it was all set up on her first ride, an 8.5 to kick things off. She says congratulations to her fellow Hawaiian.
It's a well-served heat by Tatiana. Deserves to be in the semi with that performance.
And we'll be tracking Carissa's progress through the back half of the season so closely. She's obviously had so much success across the entire schedule.